up YouTube and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Greg and I post videos every single day about the stock market, options trading, and wealth management. If these are topics that you're interested in, make sure that you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified every single time that I post a video. Today I wanted to give you an update on my long-term portfolio, show you some important stock news, as well as updating you on my weekly watch list. So this week for my long-term portfolio, I finally bought ticker symbol SPY. So what is SPY, you may ask? It is a small cap ETF or an exchange traded fund. An exchange traded fund is a combination of different stocks. So this small cap ETF follows the S&P 500, and the top 5 stocks in this are Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Berkshire Hathaway. All of these are stocks that are worth thousands of dollars, and I got this for only $250. This is the great thing about small cap ETFs. Definitely take a look into SPY for your long-term portfolio. The great thing about ETFs is when one stock actually fails or goes to completely zero, the other stocks in the ETF will hold the stability and it won't be affected as much as if you were to hold just a single stock. But at the same time, the issue with this is that if one stock goes up tremendously and you're not bought into that single stock, you wouldn't see nearly as much profit if you were just invested in ETFs. So now that I've covered ETFs, let's talk about stock market news. Andrew Cuomo, the governor for New York, says his state may have reached their apex when it comes to new virus cases. He announced that hospitalization rates dropped from 1095 all the way to 574 in one day. So what does this mean for the stock market? New York has been hit hardest by this virus. And seeing New York and New York City recover, this could mean that market sentiment will be changing soon and people might buy into the economy. This also means that the New York Stock Exchange could soon be opening up the trading floors again, and this would create more stability in the stock market. Currently, we're experiencing a lot of volatility, and this is namely due to all of the trading being completely done online. So there's nobody on the trading floors right now to manage the volatility that we're experiencing. Also keep in mind, this is only a single day of data. We need more data to support the theory that New York is actually recovering from this virus. On Friday, Trump announced that the US and Canada are working on tariffs for Saudi Arabia and Russian oil. We'll look into crude oil futures at a later point in this video. And if you don't understand what futures are, well, futures are contracts that predict the future pricing for a given industry. Trump is saying that he is trying to protect US energy workers. This could mean that the energy industry will be going up this week. Also, Nancy Pelosi has announced that she wants to send a second round of checks out to American families. Trump has been pushing infrastructure and building business. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi wants to put more cash in Americans' hands. Obviously, there is conflicting interest between the president and Nancy Pelosi. Hopefully, we can merge these two packages together. That way, we can boost the overall economy, have more money in people's hands, and more people will be buying into the stock market with their extra $1,200 that they'll be receiving. If you're looking to spend your $1,200 stimulus check, I personally think that you should invest it into the market, not the entire thing, but invest it slowly. So $300 a week if you can afford to do so. With all that said, guys, let's get into the weekly watch list. I know you might be wondering where I actually get my news from and if I'm watching the news all day, and I hardly watch the news at all, but I do watch the stock market a lot. I'm pretty much always connected to Thinkorswim, so I can search SPY, and this is just going to be general news about the stock market. So this can include things like airlines, this can include things like oil, as you see here. This can include things like retail. If we search TGT for Target, you can see traffic at Walmart, Costco, and Target falls for the first time in weeks as the virus stockpiling behavior shifts. People are starting to stray away from these large retail stores, and they probably have all their toilet paper already, so they probably don't need to go back for more. You can pretty much just type in any ticker symbol here. You can actually just leave it empty completely, and then you will get the largest headlines. You can see that virus cases rise sharply as US braces for the most challenging days ahead. During the week, these are actually updated more frequently, and you'll see a lot more here rather than just 2. Another place you can source your information from, of course, is like CNN, Fox, all of the major broadcasting networks. Another thing that you can watch is Google on your phone. If you have the Google app downloaded on your phone and you're signed in, you'll usually find relevant headlines to you. And if you're invested in the stock market, you're constantly looking at it, then obviously they will recommend you stock market news, stuff that is pertaining to businesses. Finally, the last place that I source my news is an app called Winnow. I'll show you this here. So this is just like brief headlines that you can read. This is really helpful for me because I don't like to sit around and just read a ton, and I don't like to watch very long videos or news broadcasts. You can go through any of these different topics and find news pertaining to that. I mainly focus on top business. This is obviously a mobile app, and I highly suggest you download this. That way you don't have to watch long videos and you don't have to read long articles from CNN or any of the other broadcasting networks. Now that I've covered how to source your news, we can go to TD Ameritrade. We can show you my weekly watch list. You see I have 4 stocks on display: S&P 500, futures for crude oil, Delta Airlines, and JP Morgan. So specifically, I'm looking into US oil as well as ExxonMobil. For the crude oil, looks like it's making a new high today. Futures determine the future price for an industry. Any other US oil fund will be something to look into this week. I would go about buying a call for these 2 stocks, as the prices will be going up, but do be careful whenever you're buying a call. These could be very expensive. So if you're looking at USO, it's already near this high of 603 when it's 594. So we can check into the pricing for the call options. If we're looking at the weekly options for a 9th of April expiration date, you can see on this left hand side, these are already up about 50% or more. So these are already super overpriced, and I'll show you on the quick chart in the bottom left. So I'll send this to blue, and you can see that this price is just climbing and climbing and climbing more. So I do think that these are overvalued currently, and I would not go about buying this until these prices come back down. I would suggest a call price maybe around 37 cents where the exponential moving average line is, but do be careful when you're buying this because you could lose a lot of value very quickly. Something else to look into this week is airline stocks. This isn't something that I mentioned earlier, but Warren Buffett is saying that he will be selling parts of his Delta and Southwest Airline stocks. Not completely, but he will be selling out, so watch the market fall whenever this happens. Let's look at the puts against Delta Airlines. Alright, so if we're looking at a 9th of April expiration day, these are actually fairly well priced. Looking at this change over here, we'll send this to blue so we can see it in the bottom left. So these prices haven't changed a lot over the last 2 days. I would be expecting these to make a big move this week. Finally, the bank stocks may be making a big move this week. You can see they're right at the support line at 82.23. They're currently trading for 83.99. And the reason why I think that these are going to be going up is because there's going to be a lot of cash flowing into Americans' bank accounts. Hopefully by April 9th is what I've heard they'll be sending these out. So there will be a lot of money flowing into American bank accounts. Check on JP Morgan, check on Bank of America, all of the big name banks. So we'll look at the calls for JP Morgan. These will probably be pretty well priced. Yeah, you can see that they've lost a lot of value. They've lost over half of their value since yesterday. And we'll look and we'll send this to blue so we can look at the bottom left chart. You can see they're near a bottom here at 204, currently trading at 260. They have a high all the way at 447. You can make nearly 100% profit if you were to invest in these calls this week. But when it comes to options pricing, remember these are extremely volatile. So this could continue to lose value, but I don't think that it will, given that people will be receiving money in their bank. We'll see how far this has actually come down. It was trading at 447 at its high, and currently it's going for 260. So that is a difference of 40%. You could lose over 40% of your value if you invest at the wrong time. Make sure that you are buying this at a good price, that you're following the news, and you're using technical analysis. My technical analysis is saying that these might be finding support on these simple moving average lines soon, but it might get rejected again by the exponential moving average line. Currently it's at a 45 RSI, so it's kind of consolidating. And then the MACD is showing signs that it's coming down, but we could see it pop right back off and go right back up. That is my watch list this week and what I will be trying to buy. To wrap up this video, the key points that I want you to take away is that we should keep an eye on the New York numbers, see if the cases continue to drop. This could mean that the rest of the United States will be experiencing the apex soon, and all of the numbers will start to decrease and people will get back into business. People will start going back to work. Also, I just want to remind you guys, even if the stock market does continue to go down from this point, continue to dollar cost average into the stock market. So every week, invest about 1/4 of what you can into the stock market each week rather than putting a whole lump sum of money all at one time. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Catch you in the next one. Stay positive, stay green. Bye, guys.